Hi, it's Olga Zarr. Today's episode is quite spontaneous. So, when I first set up my SEO Slide website in 2020, around 3 years ago, I made sure that it is like top notch optimized for SEO. It has no technical SEO errors. It's like almost ideal. But 3 years passed, and I have a lot of work, a lot of client work, a lot of work with the podcast, with YouTube, with creating tutorials. So I don't really pay a lot of attention to like what's happening with my site. I've been adding a lot of articles. I've been removing some articles, adding redirects, removing redirects, changing at some point even URLs. A lot of things have been happening since then. And since this day one, when I set up the website, I wasn't really paying too much attention to the SEO well-being of my site. I like the traffic is growing, organic traffic is growing. I am getting more leads, more clients, so I am like happy. I am always like too busy. But recently I started getting some emails from you, some messages from you, and some of you like spotted some technical errors of my site. And I thank you all for sharing with me those things that you noticed. Someone said that, for example, on my blog, I have all the paginated pages canonicalized to the first page of the blog, which is, I would say, a kind of huge SEO mistake. And I didn't even realize that that was the case. I never checked. For example, I was working with Jason Barnard, who has been helping me update my SEO knowledge panel so that it reflects my name change better. And I didn't know that I have schema messed up totally. I had rank math create schema for me, and like some default schema was added by my theme, for example, and a lot of other things. So I thought today I will do an SEO audit of my website as if it was the website of someone else, and be critical if I need to. Also, big thanks to Husky Hamster for Raf, who also pointed out a few technical things that were not correct on my side. So I am now setting up the crawl. I set up the Screaming Frog to kind of go through all the sitemaps I have as well. I'm doing JavaScript execution because, like I said, I was doing a ton of different things throughout those 3 years, changing back and forth, adding new things on top of old things. And I feel that there may be some mess going on, even though, as I said, traffic-wise, it's doing fine. But let's find out. So let's start the crawl. The crawl has been configured. I hope this should be relatively fast because the site is not that big, but I am like very curious why the crawl is running. I also want to tell you that this kind of inspired me to view business websites of other SEOs. Of course, some SEOs have like top-notch, awesome sites, but I also noticed that some of them don't. And there are, again, some mistakes, some old stuff, something is not updated, something is not working. And at first, when I was starting out this site, I thought, whoa, why aren't they doing that? Like they should be doing that. This is like their business card. But now I understand. They simply don't have time to do it because they are so busy making their clients happy, like working on their client success, because the site they created has been successful enough for them to bring them the new business, to bring them clients, and they are now simply busy with the clients. And this is exactly the same story with me. And instead of like working on those technical things, those things I should work on and which I will review in just a moment, I always thought that if I have some time, I will create another blog post. I will write a new article because this is, I feel that people value the most from my website. If I have some time, I will record a video like this, or I will put up another podcast episode. So this is something I have been focusing on. But let's now face the music and really see what are some of the things that kind of piled up over those last 3 years. And another thing I want to share is as well that I haven't been going back too much. First, in some cases I did. I haven't been going too much to the older blog posts I wrote and update them. Some of them kind of started to decay, like Core Vital. Some of the things I talked about like 3 or 2 years ago aren't that hot right now, and those kinds of pages started to decline, but other pages started to rank. And whenever I had time, I chose to create a new blog post, and instead of like working on the old one. But now I understand, I totally understand that I should be doing both. At least I should spend 50% of the time working on old blog posts because they are already ranking for something. Maybe they need a small push. Maybe they don't need to be like rewritten, especially that now we have ChatGPT, and I'm like, English is not my first language. So in many cases, my English doesn't sound that good, and all I need to do is simply like ask ChatGPT to rewrite some of those clumsy sentences. So my goal now is to start revisiting those older pages and working on them, especially that now I have like way more, I would say, things in my inventory, ideas, techniques that help me work on page SEO, older content. I've been starting to do that a bit. I think I have so far optimized around like 4-5 existing pages, and the results are quite promising. But I need to do that. I want to do that for the majority of pages, and I think like the articles I wrote during that time, there is like close to 100. So of course I have to spread this out evenly and maybe optimize 2 articles per week, and for example write new 2 articles per week, because like moving forward my goal with my website is to simply grow its organic traffic, because this is like this website is kind of driving my business the most. And of course, like if I have more traffic on my website, I will have more YouTube subscribers and like everything. And at some point, maybe I will be able to better monetize my site. I'm thinking hard about whether to put ads on some of the blog posts. I'm not sure if I want to do this. I'm still kind of thinking about this because the site is having some organic traffic, which is I'm quite happy with the traffic, and this would allow me to maybe better to monetize what I'm putting out there, because I'm not really monetizing my content, because of course YouTube, that's kind of obvious. On YouTube you don't earn much, and I don't even have ads enabled on YouTube. The same with podcasts. So basically the way I monetize my website is mostly through affiliates and sponsorships with other tools. And I'm thinking about those ads, but we'll see. I'm still not kind of sure if I want to do this. And if I decide to do this, I will probably want to do it in a way that's not so kind of, I would say, ugly, that you are unable to read an article because you have like 100 ads popping out everywhere. I don't want to like destroy my user experience with that. So these are some of the thoughts that are on my head. And the crawl is like almost done. I will tell you quickly what I want to check with my site. So I want to check whether I have like the basic things, basically, whether I have like 404 pages, whether I have like some huge images, because at some point I stopped caring about what images I upload and how much they weigh. At first, of course, I was like very, very like careful with that. But at some point I was just in a hurry, and I just uploaded an image without even looking at its size. On that, for example, it is PNG and it weighs like 2 megabytes. And of course, I'm preaching to everyone, don't use huge images, because it kind of because it makes your site slower. But kind of that's what happens. I don't know. I think it happens to most of busy SEOs. So I will be checking for those technical things, redirects, because I know I have a lot of redirects. There may be some redirects changed. I also have a lot of the blog posts. At some point, I added a no index tag to my newsletter issues on my website, because they are like too random. They don't rank for anything, and I was thinking that maybe I will keep only the pages that I think really stand a chance of ranking for anything in the index, and I will no index the rest. So because like newsletter is kind of a different type of thing. So these are some of the things I was doing at some point. I think 2 years. I don't remember, 2 years ago or something like that. I decided to do something that people don't want to do, and most SEOs will tell you that this is a stupid idea. So I decided to change the URLs of all of my blog pages so that they have the blog kind of subdirectory in the URL, because they didn't have it, and at some point they were like I ended up having the same URLs for some pages, some service pages, and it became kind of a problem. And then I thought, what the heck? I will change the URLs. I will add the redirects, and we'll see what happens. The worst thing that can happen, I will lose some traffic and then go back. So I changed the URLs of all the blog posts. Every blog post became redirected from like the naked kind of URL to, maybe that's not the correct name, but from the URL without a directory in it to the URL that has blog in it. And to be honest, it didn't affect my traffic at all. And I know that there are still probably a lot of internal links that go through that redirects. And the effect, it had zero effect on my traffic. Of course, tools like Ahrefs started to show that I am losing a lot of keywords, because the page that started to rank was kind of dropped out of the index, and like the tools started to show me that the pages are, you're losing keywords, but in fact new pages like the redirected pages started to get those keywords. So like the effect, I would say that even maybe I slightly gained an edge after that. So that was like, but in the tools, if you looked at the tool, you would say at that point that, oh, she has been penalized by Google or something, but I never was. And this is an interesting thing as well. I have never done like anything mischievous, any link building, nothing. I was just publishing content knowing the SEO fundamentals. So whenever I publish the content, I made sure that it is like optimized for a specific topic keyword I want to rank, and my optimizations all came down to the title, meta description, URL, headings, making sure it's like logical and really Google knows what I'm talking about. And this is all I did. And the results were quite okay. I know that I am leaving a lot of money on the table, a lot of opportunities. I could definitely do it better, especially if I did some great link building. But it never was my intention, because like I wanted to get the site, I wanted to share, I wanted to get a business out of it, and like this purpose is kind of fulfilled. So that was my goal, and now I'm thinking about better monetizing that content. Okay, enough of a rant. The crawl is finished, so let's go through the crawl and let's see what we have there. I'm quite curious to see. Okay, so let me make it maybe a bit. I want you to have like to see it in the best. Okay, I hope you will be able to see anything from this. I really do. Okay, so let's review that. Let's start from. I usually start simply from like checking every report here, or starting from issues. So we can start with issues and see what's there. Of course, with those issues, you need to be very, very careful, because very often something is marked as an issue and it's not actually an issue. So structured data, validation error. So it looks like on those 4 pages, I have validation error. So something I probably have to take a closer look at. What types of schema I have here. I have a lot of types of schema. So yeah, I will take a closer look at that. These are mostly reviews, so maybe I don't remember, maybe I had stars there or something. So what I will do now, I will copy and paste this URL into schema markup validator and see exactly what's wrong there. And something with newsletter. Okay, code responses. So I have three 404 pages. So those 3, I don't think this is like a huge thing, but I need to check if I have internal links pointing to those pages, because if I do, then that may be a problem. So let's see, in links to this SEO consulting. So this is a 404 page. And it looks like it probably is a small issue because I am having a lot of internal links pointing to that page, and this is a 404 page. And this happened. I know why it happened, because at some point I had services SEO consulting and I have the page SEO consultant, and those 2 pages started to cannibalize very heavily. So at some point I think I even got rid of that page, or I just redirected it to SEO consultant. I don't even remember. But then I changed it into SEO consultation because my kind of keyword research showed me that SEO consultation, there is a chance it won't be cannibalizing that much with SEO consultants. So that's internal link to a broken page. That's bad user experience. I am not like supporting this SEO consultation page I have, so that's bad. Canonicals, non-indexable canonicals. So here it looks like I have a category paginated page, which probably has, let me check what's the problem with that. So redirected non-indexable. Yeah, so this is like the problem with pagination for category website auditing. This is not a huge thing because in my case, categories do not really rank. Missing old text, it looks like there is a lot, but when I take a closer look, I see that this is like gravatar. They're not actually gravatar from comments. So these are not actually the images I need alt text on. So I can definitely disregard this one. Validation, invalid HTML elements in head, and it looks like I have this problem on all of my pages. So that's quite interesting what I have there. I have been adding some weird scripts here and there, so probably that's it, and there is a huge chance they were not added correctly. So I will simply have to like view the page through some HTML validator and simply see what exactly is wrong there. No index. So this is not an issue. This is a warning. And here, Screaming Frog is simply like letting me know that I have my newsletter pages are blocked from indexing. And this is, of course, done on purpose. One thing I will do, I will start crawl analysis right now, because when I do crawl analysis and when I crawl my XML sitemaps, then I can also see whether I have like problems with, for example, I have non-indexable URLs in sitemaps, stuff like that. Canonicals, canonicalized, so that's okay. We talked about this pagination, non-indexable pagination. So this is a small thing, just one category page. JavaScript with blocked resources for 2 pages, newsletter pages. I don't think this is something I have to worry about. Response costs, directives no follow. That's okay. So I think regarding the rest of those problems, I don't think there is anything like super important here. But let's go to the overview and take a closer look at all those reports, because this is usually the way I like to interpret the crawl, instead of like the crawler telling me what's wrong. So 300, almost 550 unique HTML pages on my site. That's kind of okay. I'm aware of that. I don't see anything like weird here. As you can see, I have those like SEO auditing, SEO consultation, SEO consulting, and some of them are redirected and some aren't redirected. Let's sort them by status code. Okay, so they sorted. Let me have it here. Here. Okay, sorted by status code. It will be way easier for me to now review. So 200, 200, 200. Okay. And now I can see the redirects. So I may take a closer look at those redirects. So in the past, I used to have the about page, and it has been redirected to SEO consultants. And there is a huge chance that I still have internal links pointing to this old URL. So let's go to in links. And it looks like I don't. That's okay. I only have it from the default author page. So that's okay. Alternative search engines. So just one URL. Bing search operator. So this is what I was talking about. I used to have no blog. Now I have. So this is the old URL, seoslide.com/Bing search operators. And I see that I have the link to this old URL from just 2 pages. So that's kind of okay. And I can do this basically for all pages which are redirected. And as you can see, there is some work to do probably. Yes, definitely. These get pages, these are affiliate links, so I can disregard them. Let's go. Yeah, it looks like, yeah, I definitely have a lot of cleaning up to do. And the fastest way to do it is simply select the pages, like all the pages which are redirected, and then you will see all the in links here to those pages, then export, and I have like the entire list, and I may come up with a better way, a more automated way to kind of update them in bulk. Images, so with images, everything is okay. Let me go further. Security, do I have any mixed content? HTTP, I don't. Response codes, so blocked by that, that's okay. That's okay. Success, redirects, yeah, so here are like all the redirections, including internal and external ones. Client errors, so here I have 404 pages, both to internal pages and external pages. As you can see, here are a lot of broken pages regarding, I think, Chrome extensions. I had this very famous article about Chrome extensions, and I haven't updated it. And I noticed that it even dropped out of like the main index. It's not even findable for best SEO Chrome extensions. And maybe one of the reasons is that it is really out of date. It has those broken links to the Chrome extensions that don't even exist anymore. So something for me to review and update. As I said, the scale of this problem probably isn't that huge. This is like 25 links that are broken, but here I selected all of them, and in links I can see all the internal links pointing to them. There are some of them not that, I would say, not that critical. Server errors, so external page has a server error, that's okay. Internal, so this is basically the same, but only internal links. URLs, let's see, URLs are okay. Page titles, so I may take a look at the duplicate titles to make sure that I don't have any duplicates. It looks like I have those two, but let's check. Okay, so yeah, I just found 2 duplicated kind of pages. I have to take a closer look if the content of those pages is the same, because I know I've been playing with that. I was changing that because at some point I had those short articles where I simply like question articles. I had a question, and under the question I had a very short video where I answered the question and like a few bullet point answers. And I think this was one of those articles where I decided to refocus them for keywords that are like more searched for. And this is one of those when I think the article was about, can I become an SEO, blah, 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 something like that, more like a very long tail keyword. And I refocused it to how to become an SEO. I don't remember. Maybe this is, anyway, it doesn't matter, but I definitely have to review them. Okay, over 60 characters. So my bad kind of strategy used to be that all I did when it comes to this was like a very minimal on-page SEO. All I did, I selected the main keyword. Let's say the keyword is Google search operators. I would put Google search operators in H1, H2, of course, like throughout the text. And my title would be Google search operator hyphen SEO slide. And this was working quite okay, but I know this is not the best approach. And I have some titles like that, as you can see, how to become an SEO monthly service. I know I have some homework to do here. I probably want to make those titles longer. I maybe want to add some variations to those titles because like Google likes to rewrite titles sometimes. And if you have a longer title, and it doesn't really matter that the title is longer than the kind of recommended length. If you have much longer title, you will simply give Google more opportunities to use some of those keywords, variations. So I think that's totally okay to have a longer title. Meta descriptions. So for a very long time, I was totally ignoring meta descriptions. But having come through a very advanced SEO training now, I am starting to question some of the things I was preaching, I was believing in, and one of those is meta description. That officially this is not a ranking factor, of course, but I believe it is worthwhile populating your meta description and making sure it is very, very relevant. So meta descriptions, meta keywords, so I'm not using them, but that's an interesting topic as well. H1s, missing duplicates. Yeah, on a few pages I have duplicated H1 tag, and it has been done on purpose, and I don't think it hurts my SEO. And content, exact duplicates, near duplicates, that's okay. Images, let's take a closer look at those images. So let's see all images and let's sort them by size. I'm pretty sure I will find a few images that are too big. Oh, yeah, I have one image which weighs 3.9 megabytes. This is a GIF image, GIF, I don't know. Here, maybe it isn't that bad as I thought, but I definitely have a few images that are too big, like another PNG image that weighs more than 600 kilobytes, 500 kilobytes. So it is not a very complex thing to optimize them, to scale them, but I was too lazy to do that. So canonical, self-referencing, canonicalized. I talked about this. Pagination, directives, so index, no index. That's all done on purpose. href length doesn't apply here. Links, AMP, structured data, so validation warnings, validation errors. I will review that. Sitemaps. So I did crawl analysis, and now I can take a look at what's on my sitemaps, what shouldn't be on my sitemaps. So this report is quite useful. So you have all URLs, 350 something URLs on my site, including the redirected URLs. So this is not actually like the full, the number of pages I have is of course lower. URLs in sitemap. So in sitemap, I have almost close to 200 URLs. My sitemap is automatically generated by rank math, which means that there is little chance that it will be not correct, because rank math, I think even by default, only shows in the sitemap pages which are indexable. And you can also set it up to not show some specific pages like tag pages if you still use them. So in my case, I think it is done pretty okay, but let's see. So 189 pages. And as I said, these are the pages, service pages, category pages, which I'm not sure if I should even index, but Like, I don't think it will hurt me, because those category pages won't rank for anything, I'm sure. They are mostly for users. I'm not an e-commerce site where having category pages rank would definitely be something I want to do. Blog posts. Yeah, I think the podcast episodes. So I'm indexing podcast episodes because in many cases they stand a chance of ranking for the name of the person I am interviewing. So I'm indexing them, even though I'm not getting a lot of traffic from them. So that's okay. URLs not in sitemap. So these are the URLs that crawler found on while crawling my site, but they are not in the sitemap. And I can immediately see this is totally okay, because these are paginated pages and I don't really need to indicate paginated pages, especially in my case on my website. Orphan URLs, so one thank you page, totally okay. Non-indexable URLs in sitemap, that's okay. So URLs in multiple sitemaps, so blog, not an issue. I think that's when it comes to Screaming Frog, I am pretty okay. But now let's take a look at Jet Octopus. I will open it and show you that in just a second, because Jet Octopus is also great for showing you if you have any cannibalization issues. I have like a separate video about that, and I would really love to show this to you. Let me just open that. Okay, I have it. Let me share the other screen now, where you can see a Jet Octopus. So when I'm doing an SEO audit, I basically use a Screaming Frog, I use Jet Octopus. Sometimes I use other tools, especially like SEMrush, if I want to take a look at keyword rankings. But the top 3 tools I always use is, of course, Jet Octopus, Screaming Frog, and GSC, of course, because without GSC, I wouldn't really know what's going on. So here is Jet Octopus, one of the recent crawls. And if you connect Jet Octopus to Google Search Console, you will be able to see way more than you can see in GSC, because like the presentation here is like more focused on the things you should care about. And for example, I have cannibalization here, and based on GSC data, Jet Octopus is showing me what pages are cannibalizing. So a reverse video search. And of course, this is not a problem, because the pages that are cannibalizing are simply jump links to table of content. So that's definitely not a problem. But here it may be a problem. So it looks like I have blog SEO audit cost, blog SEO audit, and services SEO auditing. So all of them, it looks like all of those pages are cannibalizing one another. So I may take a closer look at those 3 pages. Google reverse video search, the same thing. A site audit, similar thing. So I have the page how to audit a site with GSC, with Ahrefs, and SEO audit. So this is very useful if you want to like quickly see if you have any cannibalization issues happening. Of course, there are tons of more things you can learn with Jet Octopus, but this is kind of the basics I wanted to show you. And now a quick manual review of the site, because I think I will find things that normally I would say that they're like bad, you should work on them and stuff like that. So I am now on my website, and let's say this is not my website, and I simply want to look for things that may not be okay. So this is, I'm reviewing, and looks kind of okay. Let's see at headings. So I'm using my favorite plugin, which is Chrome Web Developer, and I'm using Information View Document Outline. And now I'm seeing the headings. So the headings, at least on my homepage, look quite okay. I really took care of that. And I want to highlight this to you, that headings are really important. It's very important for SEO that you put the content that makes sense, that you put your keywords in headings, and that you don't use headings for styling purposes, or you do not use headings for things that are not relevant to the main content of the page, like comment section. I recently noticed that I used to have 3 headings that were pulled from my comment section. I recently fix that. I had to like simply manually change that in the code. So headings look okay. Let's inspect that site and see what it looks like in like the preview of iPhone 12 Pro. I'm not sure if this is the best thing, that I have the heading and then I have like this huge image and only then comes text. Probably it would be better if I just had some text and maybe then image, or yeah, like the first thing I'm seeing is probably this. Let's go to like hire me. This is a relatively new page I created. And let's see the headings. Here the headings look acceptable, but I have two H1 headings, and I think I did that on purpose. I think this was done on purpose, like I'm doing some on-page optimization tests, and I don't think it hurts me. But the structure is a bit off here. I have H2 and then I have H4s, but I don't think this is like super important. So that's it. Okay, so I'm using again Chrome Web Developer. You probably don't see that. Here I'm using Chrome Web Developer to display old attributes. Okay, SEO slide. There is an old attribute. SEO services, there is one here as well. It looks like I have old text on all of those images, a bit stuffed with keywords. One of the things I'm also like I've been doing recently is I've been adding those FAQs. It's very easy to create those FAQs. Even with ChatGPT, you can simply feed it with your content and then ask it to write FAQs. And this way you will have more words on your page. You will have better keyword density, whether you believe in keyword density or you don't. You will have more content, more headings, and it will help you rank. Okay, what else would I like to see? Let's see a blog. So on blog, I see things are okay because this is the title, and the title has the title is linked. There is a image is linked as well. I also had those read more links, but I added them on purpose. If I have a link that has the right anchor, I think this is okay, and then I can have those read more links without hurting my site. So fundamentally, the site has been done by me, created by me. So I think I won't find some glaring SEO issues here, but as you can see, mostly the stuff that piled up over years. So let's open like one of the recent articles, how to become an SEO, and see whether it's okay. So I have like the title, author, I have categories, last updated date. It looks okay. This table of contents, maybe it is too big. I've been adding them mostly for like keyword on page kind of purposes. But while I'm looking at it right now, I think maybe it will be a better idea if I simply made it folded by default. And if someone wants to see the table of contents, they can simply open it. So that's, I think, something I should probably work on, because the article is as always long, very long. Okay. So that's regarding internal links. I also know that without even checking that, I started to neglect internal linkings for new pages. I added some here and there, but I always didn't have time to find relevant pages. I was neglecting that, blah, blah, blah. And one of the things, tools I started to use that really helped me with that, and the tool was also very helpful when it comes to schema, adding advanced schema, was Inlinks. And let me show you Inlinks very, very, very fast. So Inlinks is the tool by Dixon Jones. And you basically add a JS code on your site, and you have to like import all your pages here, and you have to map them to specific entities. The tool is showing you by default what entities it thinks a specific page has, and you just have to confirm. If you think none of those entities make sense, you can also edit manually, but you have to find it. It has to be findable in Wikipedia. And when you do it, the tool will create internal links from other pages through the anchor that contains that entity, which is super relevant for like any topical authority, topical relevance, and it will create schema that's also quite nice. So here is the schema I have on that specific page. So how to search for PDFs on Google. I connected this one with PDF. And the cool thing is that this page is ranking like 1 across like PDF related search. And I believe connecting it to that PDF entity really helped Google a lot. So this is the schema I have on my page. So as you can see, about, here is the URL, about. So it's talking about PDF, Google. Maybe this one is not necessarily the best choice, but here are the entities and here are the mentions, things it mentions. Of course, you are totally free to change the automated schema that the tool is showing you, because in some cases you may simply not find that this is the schema you really want to. Let me find that PDF, that page. Here is the page. I just click on edit, and here I am totally free to remove things which I think don't make sense, add things that I think make sense. So I'm totally free in that optimization. And here's internal links. I didn't really intend on showing you in links, but I think it's really worth, especially if you have been using, like if you have been sites for a long time and it's kind of you don't have time to work on it as meticulously as you used to. Internal links. So here I can see all the internal links that InLinks created for me. And this is again super useful for me, because if I had to create manually 300 internal links, I don't think I would do it because I don't have time. Here I can review all the links that the tool created for me, and of course I can remove them if I think some link doesn't really make sense. Okay, so that's it. I don't really think there are more things, way more things to that than the ones I already talked about, the ones I found in crawlers. So I will be working on updating my site. So I will be updating existing pages. I will clean up all the redirects. I will work on internal linking, because I know that there are still some links that should be added there even more. So I should also like go in detail through InLinks and maybe like made some modifications there, because I set it up and I forgot about it. I had a nice organic growth out of that, but I know I could do way more. So that's it. Cannibalization, I definitely have to work on that. Of course, I have to keep adding new content. Let's talk about speed. I don't think speed is important, but I just want to show you this. I was a person who used to obsess about speed. You have to be green everywhere. You have to pass core Web vitals. I wrote so many articles about core Web vitals and speed. And after, I don't know how much time, I think for a year or more, I came to the realization that it doesn't really matter. If your site is like painfully slow, that it is unable to be used, then of course you have to take care of that. But if it is like okay, doing okay, relatively okay, you are in the like orange zone here, or core Web vitals are not like all in red and you have 10 seconds to like paint the first paint or something like that, you can totally neglect that and focus on things that really move the SEO needle, which are on-page SEO, revisiting old content, working on internal links, enriching the content, working on conversion optimization, because this is also something I know I am like not necessarily the best at. I know that those service pages I have, let's get back to that real quick. I know that this is not a well optimized sales page, because I have no calls to action. I have a huge video, table of contents, so many different audits. I know this is not optimized for conversions in any way, but that's something I will work on. But I haven't been optimizing for conversions that heavily because I simply don't have time because I'm so busy with clients. But let's quickly get back to this speed thing. So like 2 or 3 days ago, I would have like everything in red here, and I can assure you it doesn't really matter. You don't have to change this green here. I have it only because I recently added Cloudflare Premium to my site, including edge caching, and this really makes like this entire difference. But it's really not worth working on that, especially if it requires a lot of developmental kind of work. You have to hire a developer to do that. Just put a Cloudflare edge caching and you will be fine in most cases. I'm not saying in all cases. Just don't be painfully slow because that's bad. And that's basically, I think, it when it comes to my site. I know that if I spend more time, I would probably find more things. So summing up, I really love receiving those messages from you when you tell me that this is wrong, this is bad, there is a mistake on your site. I really love that, and I'm very grateful that you are doing that. It shows me that you care about my site, you care about me, and this is super, super useful. I'm very grateful for that. And what else I wanted to tell you is that recently I had a small outage. I don't remember what I was doing with my site. I think something with caching, but the site basically was not there, and I didn't notice because I was doing something. I was away. And I got a few messages from you telling me your site is down. And thanks to you, I was able to simply ping my team and ask them to fix it. And they did it immediately. And I didn't have any bad effects from that. So thanks a lot for keeping an eye on my site. And I would love you to tell me if there are any more errors. I will be working on my site, and I'm very, very curious to see how it evolves. And I'm so busy, but I promise I will be getting back to those bi-weekly SEO or live audits. I know this is something you like very much. If there's a specific area of SEO you want me to talk about, something regarding audits, whatever, just let me know in the comments or DM, and I will be happy to make a video out of it from you. So that's all for today. I didn't intend this to be that long, but it just happens. This is when I'm on an SEO rant. Thanks, everyone. If you like this video, please like it, comment, share it, give thumbs up, and yeah, and see you in the next one. Bye-bye.